Time to get out of this. Oh, sit down. There we go. That was a bit of fun for the morning. Always things look more daunting than they really are once you actually start riding them and just commit to it. It does always seem to be a little bit easier, which is good. But most of the time it's in your head going, ah! I'm gonna die. So, where am I going today? I don't know. Going towards Margaret River, that sort of way. I really want to get onto some roads like this and just cruise. I might try and do, like, basically go up the west on dirt like this. It'll be good to get some practice in, and I haven't really ridden remotely any off-road in several months. Coming a bit hot to that one. Well, a little bit of fun. Back on the road. Next stop is Cape Reunion. So, do that in Augusta, which is weird because you've got Port Augusta, and then you've got Port, and then you just got Augusta. Sure, anyway, having a quite a good day today. It's very warm. It's 26. It was 28 earlier, so it must be the difference between being under the trees and out in the sun on the bitumen. But I'm not necessarily just using the sat-nav today just to say, oh, I want to go here and just going with it. I'm looking at the map and seeing what roads they're going between, and sometimes you find these really cool like forest roads, which are lovely, and it smells so good in here. I don't know what it smells of. It's just flowers and floweriness. It's quite nice. Right, let's have a look which way I've got to go now, because the whole reason I'm actually on this road is because I went the wrong way when I left somewhere. So let me just make sure. I now want to go to, I'm going to use the sat-nav here. Oh, come on. Let's jump onto Stewart Road. Just there. Go. It's this way. Yeah, I'm just cutting the corners off of the road by taking some dirt road, which is really good. So now I got this for 30k, so then potentially back on the dirt. Don't know what the road is, but I'm taking that road either way, whether it's dirt or not. It's lovely and green around here as well. It's winery. If you liked wine, you would be absolutely wankered if you were cruising around this road, because it's just winery after winery after winery after winery down here. So this is Augusta. It's really nice. Little beach town. I'm working my way to the lighthouse and sticking to the coast. Park it towards the front. That way, no one tries to drive in the car park and then smashes the front of my bike. That's my method of thinking anyway. Well, I bet you they charged me to go and see this lighthouse, so we'll see what happens. So Cape Llewellyn Lighthouse, which is there. $6 to walk around the grounds. Got an ice cream as well, because you've got to have an ice cream. It's nice and sunny. Tallest lighthouse in Australia. It's still working. It was built in 1896, I think. If I read the sign right, if I remember it right. Yeah. It's a free tour for, well, not free tour, it's a tour for $20 to go up to the top, but I'm not actually that bothered, and I apologise for how shaky this camera is. Nothing I can do about it. Unless I stopped walking. Very interesting. It's literally where the Indian Ocean and the Southern Ocean meet. And in some cases, in certain times of year, the two currents from the two oceans are so different that it creates swirls that you can see, swirl patterns in the water as the two oceans sort of collide together, really. It's quite interesting. Just a casual pirate cow, as you do. Apparently there's 85 cows that are dotted across here in the Margaret River region. It was part of the world's largest public art event. There's a cow parade. Yeah, it's got a hook. Is that a thing? Can't remember what the name of it is. And a parrot. It's really weird. Well, it's a very interesting lighthouse. There's 3 houses on this side for the 3 lightkeepers and potentially their families that needed to operate it, and they moved out of the houses in 1988. So yeah, and that was built in 1895. So there was a good old stint where that lighthouse was being sort of manned. It's still operational now, but I assume it's now sort of all electronic and one of the special lights that are in there. They're not the old lights that they used to be. But yeah, it was $20 to go up to the top, so I decided not to do it and just walk the grounds, which was fine because I've read loads of the plaques on there. And incidentally, coming up the Skipper's Rocky Road, or Skippy Rocky Road, which is what I'm on now, is pretty much the same height. So, different view from a different angle, but I get to see the lighthouse from here. So yeah, it was well worth coming up this little gravel road. And as I was walking back to the bike, one of the guys said, "Are you the guy that rides a BMW?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Oh, have you got a New Zealand plate?" Which was the first person to recognise that I've got a New Zealand plate in the 7 months I've been in Australia. Or at least the first person to actually mention it to me. Anyway, I'm just going to do this little loop with gravel road. There's a few spots to look out, so I thought I'd just have a poke along here, look at the sea views, maybe find somewhere to have some snacks, and of course a Snickers bar, because I do love a Snickers and a Mars bar, and I do love the way that it doesn't matter what country you go to, anywhere in the world, you can still get a Snickers and a Mars bar, which is brilliant. It's 1:30 now, so I've figured out a place to camp while I'm having some food, but essentially the next sort of spot on my route is Margaret River. And then after that is another lighthouse. It does seem to be like I like lighthouses, and it's not that I like lighthouses, it's just that lighthouses always seem to be in quite cool spots, like, you know, on the edge of like pointy bits that come out of the land, obviously. So that's why I like to go see them, because there's normally quite cool views and scenery around there, so it's always interesting to go off to like this sort of little capes that are around and the peninsulas. And then it's basically Perth, but before Perth it's meeting up with my mate Chris, who I did the farming with 4 years ago. Well, yesterday I got to a campsite just south of Margaret River. It said it was going to rain and be 100% thunderstorms all day yesterday. So I pitched a tent, paid for 2 nights, and the plan was just to stay there chilling out in the tent. and let the storm sort of go over and come and go. This morning has rained, it's colder, and it's rained more. So, but it's sunny now, so we're all good. Hay fever has drop kicked me in the face in the last 24 hours. I've had tablets for my nose. I've just been to a pharmacy. I spent another $45 on like eye drops, tablets, and then I bought like a bandage and a burn panel thing, just because I thought it's the only kind of things I don't have really in my sort of little first aid kitty thing. So I thought, well, I'll bring them, and then, you know, just because I'm going to go into remote areas, I thought I better have a bandage just in case for like snake bites or big cuts or whatever. So I got one of them, and I got a burn thing because 30-40 degree heat, motorbikes, all the potential to burn myself. But the sun's out, I'm on the bike, it's good. I'm heading off to the Cape. There's probably going to be a lighthouse there, so we'll go see that. Well, sure enough, there's a lighthouse. It's considerably smaller than the other one, but then the other one was the tallest one in Australia, so it should be smaller. Apparently, there's some humpback whales here, so I am desperate to go and walk to that sort of lookout where I can hopefully see them. The guy said in the kiosk, he said he saw some today, this morning, and I can just hear the guys at the top of the lighthouse in a tour saying that he thinks that there were some, or definitely some, just out there. He had a pair of binoculars, so I do this 2 kilometre walk and hopefully see some myself. So I spent $5 to go see the lighthouse, hoping that it would then, from the lighthouse, would take me to the whale track, or the whale lookout point. Turned out it didn't. It was just the lighthouse. I spent $5 to see another lighthouse when I didn't need to. I could do the free walk to the whales, so that's what I'm doing. It's only $5, so it's not the end of the world. But you know, cost for ice cream. That could have had another ice cream. The wind's pretty nice and cool, but it's getting warmer. I should have put sunscreen on, and I haven't because I'm an idiot and a child. So there we go. I'll deal with it when I get burnt, I guess. Sat at the lookout for quite a while, looking out, and they're right out to sea. I'd never get it on camera, so I haven't really bothered. But that guy in the blue was very nice, and let me use his binoculars for a second. And I caught a whale breaching just over here, which is really cool. So I've seen a whale, which is awesome. I think they're humpbacks. It's massive. I saw its tail splash around, and it's like doing like a wave and a splash with its fin. I'm so pleased I got to see whales. That's one tick off the list. I definitely want to do like a charter boat thing, but not on this trip. I can just save my money now. But that was really good. So that's where I'm staying. I drove past, saw the sign, pulled over, hit the sand, and then completely bogged myself down to above the axle.